No.
I think censored, just because people were seeing us today and it's awkward. Yeah.
Is that a yes? That's a thing.
Well, it's up to you, man. You've just gone from village people to meat and oil in one move.
Yeah. I have no problem with either of those. All right, we're here. Are we there? We're there. Hello, world. We're Ologism, and for the second time in about 36 hours, we join you from outside Alice Springs, and it is absolutely tremendous to be here. You may not be able to make it out. We'll try and get some shots for you later on, but the sun is just setting behind us here, behind in the bush, and it's absolutely beautiful. And even though it's been pretty hot up here, there's a lovely breeze. Yeah, it's really delightful. So we're just stoked to be here, and we're stoked that you can join us online as well. When I think about the breeze, I think about how much we take for granted in terms of the climate and everything that we live in. But we know that climate is changing, and perhaps not for the best, perhaps in ways that are quite challenging for us. But the reason we know that the climate is changing is because we're able to measure all kinds of different, meteorological parameters, and we're able to then compare them as they change over time, chuck that stuff inside a very, very clever computer models, and we can predict the future. Now, if you think about that, just pause a moment there and think what that means. This is essentially like prophecy. The scientists that do this are able to predict the future. And granted, the news in terms of climate is, but it's still news that we wouldn't otherwise have. So I'm prepared to go so far as to suggest that these are not just models; these are supermodels.
I saw a supermodel and she ain't really good. She told me things were not progressing in the way they should. Since we started burning oil, we've been warming up the earth. Now from New York to Afghanistan, from London down to Perth, we're talking about wrong, yeah. We're talking about weed, yeah. We're talking about wrong, yeah. We're talking about weed, yeah. Ask the supermodel, how bad could it get? You can change in my lifetime. She said you wanna make it better. It's already getting hotter and the seas are rising now. More droughts, more storms, more cyclones, and which one's holding down? We're talking about wrong, yeah. We're talking about weed, yeah. We're talking about wrong, yeah. We're talking about weed, yeah.
Awesome. It's so delightful. I really hope you guys can get a sense of what's going. How beautiful is it? In fact, can we get a camera shot over here? This is. You know how beautiful it is. Have a look. I don't know whether you can see that it's this beautiful flame orange, and I suspect it's going to go.
I'd go with apricot, maybe a tinge of mauve, and then some nice pale, sort of almost. Well, not almost turquoise, but sort of fading.
Spoken like a man who's been redecorating his house.
Yes.
Yes, to suit the landscape, the sky is doing everything we need it to do. It's quite the setting. Did you want to explain a bit of exciting technology that's going to be appearing in the deserts of Australia?
Very exciting technology is appearing across Western Australia, through the deserts, maybe in the Northern Territory, right across there. It's about the Square Kilometre Array, SKA. It's all about radio telescopes which are picking up radio signals. And if you want to put radio telescopes, you put them out in the desert because you don't want any radio interference. You're looking way back deep in time, picking up these radio signals. The thing about this Square Kilometre, it's not just one big telescope, it's about 3,000 of them, and the combined area or capacity for pulling these things up is a square kilometre, which means it pulls in a lot of data. It's been going for, the last 5 years or so, or 10 in planning. It won't be fully operational for probably another 5 to 10 years, but there's a whole lot of exciting stuff there going out there and across the deserts of Australia, collecting radio astronomy, great stuff. And this is what it's about. In the middle of nowhere, you can use it. You sense the scale of existence, and the world starts to shrink. Thousands of visions looking deep into space, looking deep into space. Way back in time, look what's this. Dare to ask why. Stop with the outside. The universe is into secrets and waves. As the cosmos was forming, that's a gift I gave. Looking into space, looking to question time. Big thoughts and small things, we're walking by. Look, one of the things that we've noticed, here, that is in the central Australia, but generally in life, if you look around, is ants. There are loads of them here, and there are loads of different species of them here. And it's easy to kind of just walk past them, step over them, step on them, perhaps, which is sad. It's easy to forget that they are an incredible evolutionary success. And I'd like to draw your attention, if I may, to one particular species of ant, Camponotus saundersi, which is a carpenter ant species. These guys live in trees in Malaysia, and like any ant, they all have a role to play in the nest, and they're extremely good at playing their role in the nest. And in fact, they realize that the nest is the single most important part of their existence, and they will do anything to protect the nest. Now, if another insect or a creature of some sort threatens the carpenter ant nest, what these guys initially do is they just start waving their four limbs around a bit in a way that's supposed to be scary. If that doesn't work, if that kind of threat warning doesn't work, what they'll then do is they will sort of exude pheromones, which essentially are like a smell, and it basically says just back off, all right, this is our nest, don't hurt us. If that doesn't work, then this particular species of ant has one last trick in the book. What they do is they basically drag their head really quickly down towards their abdomen. How quickly?
Really quickly.
Okay.
Actually, it's really quick. In so doing, exactly. They basically compress their middle bit, including a particular organ called the gaster, which in this species is very large, it's oversized.
And full of juice.
And full of, horrible acoustic acetophenone mixture stuff that basically then bursts out of them, and it could kill another small insect. It would certainly be very painful and uncomfortable. Downside, of course, of bursting a large organ inside you that then explodes out of you is that you're probably going to die. And that's what happens. These guys will, in fact, kill themselves in order to protect the nest. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that level of self-sacrifice and altruism is to be applauded, if not sung about.
You know it! Brilliant! Our social system, you so should go. We stop doing it, too much, you know, we see what it might be. I've seen us through adversity, and arrival. We start doing it, we need to let you know we simply not be
Wow. Look at that sunset. Yeah, that is a pretty magic way to see ourselves at the end of another episode. Look, thank you so much for joining us in cyberspace, wherever you might be. I suspect you'd be lucky if it's half as beautiful as this, but good luck to you anyway. You can find us online at ologism.com. We're also at facebook.com/ologismband. We'd love you to like us. We'd love you to watch us. Frankly, we'd love you to have a fantastic
We'd like
night.
you to love us.
We get lonely. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night. Farewell.